throughout the nation that are from St. Louis. St. Louis, like, so we're talking about the people who have the names in the industry and so on and so forth. But the independent music scene, as well as the behind the scene folk, a lot of people come from St. Louis, man. And it's a lot of people hiding in St. Louis too. Celebrities and so on and so forth. And a lot of baby mamas.
A lot of baby mamas.
Real women of St. Louis too.
Real women of St. Louis.
Yeah. Early 2000s, Nelly dropped. Chingy came shortly after. Club scene is crazy then.
Hold on, pause, because I feel like this person gets slighted every time we talk music in St. Louis. Every time. And it bothers me because y'all got Pretty Willie fucked up. Okay?
Pretty Willie Moore.
Yes.
He don't.
He's no longer Pretty Willie or P-Dub. He's Willie Moore Jr.
Willie Moore Jr.
However, the P-Dub and Pretty Willie era, he got a catalog. He got some bops.
And if we being realistic, like, now this is just if you were really into the St. Louis music scene. Pretty Willie actually had Nelly a little bit nervous because when all that stuff was coming out, Pretty Willie was hitting hard, man.
That's why never mind. Yeah.
I already know where you was going.
Yeah, that's why he didn't blow how he should have blown up. Because
Universal.
P-Dub, Pretty Willie Suella, has a catalog out of this world. I have his CDs. I got the shit on Apple Music, like all of that. I still ride to his albums today. Like he had a catalog, and I think it's fucked up that we don't give that man his props how we should as a pioneer of the St. Louis music industry in the early 2000s.
Shout out Willie Moore Jr.
For real straight up. He does.
Harlem, I hear like with people who I hear his name pop up in circles. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that it was like nobody was saying anything about
people are haters. They ride on the bandwagon. So because he was shut down, well, we can't like his music. Nah, like he got some jams.
You know what's funny? To kind of piggyback on what you're saying, Harlem, a homie of mine, shout out to Keenan doing big things in Chicago. We had a conversation about the music scene and the party scene. And we were just talking about, he was like, once Nelly blew up, like I remember being in like Florida and everybody was talking about St. Louis and this shit was just so surreal to me. You get back to St. Louis and it's like, it went from how AI said, all of us just had this like unity in the streets. I mean, it was still bad, but like with parties and just either you was in or you wasn't in. But if you was in, everybody was connected. And we were just talking about how like St. Louis kind of got Hollywood once a lot of like exposure that we weren't used to started popping up in a loop. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't, the conversation wasn't blaming Nelly because Nelly did his thing and Nelly is dope. And shout out to the St. Lunatics as well. But it was one of those things where he felt that we didn't know how to deal with it. And I agreed with him, but then I also told him if it never was here, then you kind of have to go through it to kind of figure it out. But it was a pretty good conversation about just the Hollywoodism of St. Louis and where the cliques started getting real thick within St. Louis.
Oh yeah, that's shit. That's about the time we were standing on couches in clubs.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of St. Louis has a lot of jams that still ring true today, like that still can turn up a club today. Like we have a lot of artists that probably are maybe regular now that they had us turned up. Ludi,
yeah.
Oops.
Yep.
I know he's Bruce Franks now, but
right.
You know, Louis V.
Yeah.
Loudy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say St. Louis without saying do it with no hands.
Do it with no hand. You had Just Black in them. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing
Yeah, the
is
All Stars.
the All Stars.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to
Track stars.
man Trust. We grew up together. But track stars. But the craziest thing is, and I always say this to just traveling and stuff. When I see people try to do the mono, and it always makes me think like you would never know what it's like to have been in a monastery when that thing took off. It's from Club Monastery. You know what I'm saying? And you risk your life every Saturday or Friday or Sunday, whenever you decided to go. On the east side to the monastery, I saw everything from people fighting to in a monastery. You just, all right. Good times, man. Good times.
So I'll be having conversations with some of my young guys and girls, and I tell them, man, I hate sounding like the old dude in the room, but even for me, like being a DJ, I still occasionally have to end up in those environments.
Mm-hmm.
Then they don't rock. They don't rock.
That's because their music doesn't move you. Like the music that we created, the bangers, Ray the Kid, like Hakeem, the music, Huey. Come on now, pop, lock, and drop it. Like the music that we created made you want to dance, made you want to jump on the couch and cut up. Like it made you want to just kick it. And that is what we used to do. We used to turn up at our parties. And that's what clubs were. We wasn't going to the club. We was going to a party. We threw parties straight up. Like St. Louis was a vibe back in the early 2000s.
And you had your hood. You had your hood-ish. You had kind of your sophisticated-ish that could turn hood. Your hood-ish could turn sophisticated. And when it's like everybody knew each other, it's like some people threw the type of parties where you could have every type of in that mug. And you like anything from mobbing out or throw Nelly on or Baby Huey.
Definitely Sagu and Dynasty was throwing some tight ass parties.
Free Time, which was on
Free Time. That's right.
Come on, man. A Tribe Called Fresh is what I named a couple people. One of the people on here, they just never. Those were my guys, but I just
long story. We'll talk, bro.
Yeah. We used to throw parties, and we used to and you knew that the shit was live because you knew a bunch of shit come Monday evening because you went to go get the world. So you saw who died the weekend before, who got locked up, who did what. But then we flipped to the back.
Right.
You saw the party shit.
Yeah.
You saw how live whatever this event was or whatever the case may be. You saw Harlem B talking about telling it like it is in the back of the world. Like, those type of things. We used to turn up.
Yeah, man. You had, oh my God, Eye Candy. Shout out to Big Mo.
Yep, Mo, Eye Candy. Yep, The Loft.
Tease, you know what I'm saying?
Because it even goes back because The Loft takes us back to Saints and the Palace.
Oh man,
because they the same owners.
It's like 5 people who saying they making the Saints movie, and all I'm saying is I'm giving it about 3 more years before I write my version of this mother.
It has to happen. It's got to happen.
Because that's like the Palace and Saints, but definitely Saints on Sunday night. That's like such a dope story waiting to happen, man.
Yeah, it's like ATL. I was just gonna say it's our ATL. Man. It definitely is.
And it's a million stories. And
think about it. We had a DJ who was like 13, 14.
Yep.
Tab.
Yep.
Spinning. Like St. Louis is a vibe. If you know where you at.
And then like me and my man DJ Reminisce used to run, had our Vapors runs at Lola. Lola is a whole nother movie. But Lola was kind of I don't want to say it was the beginning of the end, but it was just kind of like for me at least, the apex of the dopeness. And then it just kind of, the game went where it went. And these fun times, and this is just my perspective, it just started turning it more business than experience. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been a thing where it's like the club was popping more than the events was popping more than the club. But at one point, both of them were like, it used to be, we'll just use Harlem. We going to Harlem event, gonna tear that mug down. She ended it at 1:30. Then we all finna run over to, I don't know, the Marquee. Then we all going to the east side.